In 2016, Marcus Webb volunteered for a sleep study at Portland Sleep Research Institute. 7 nights in a lab, $2,000 upon completion. The consent form was 12 pages long. Most of it was standard: EEG monitoring, sleep cycle tracking, video observation. But one clause stood out. Participants may experience vivid dreams. Some subjects report temporary disorientation upon waking. This is normal. Marcus signed it. He needed the money. His lease was ending. His freelance work had dried up. $2,000 would cover rent for another month while he looked for something stable. On the 7th night, Marcus fell asleep in the lab. When he woke up, he was somewhere else, and the researchers couldn't find him. The lab was state-of-the-art. White walls, soft lighting, a hospital bed with monitoring equipment. Dr. Lena Kovacs ran the study, mid-40s, professional, calm. She explained the process clearly. "We're studying REM sleep patterns in stress-induced environments. You'll sleep here for 7 nights. We monitor your brain activity. That's all." Marcus asked what stress-induced meant. Dr. Kovacs smiled. "We introduce mild auditory stimuli during REM phases. Nothing harmful. Just enough to observe how the brain adapts." "What kind of sounds?" "White noise, tones, occasionally recorded speech, all very low volume. Most subjects don't even remember hearing them." The first night was fine. Marcus slept deeply. He dreamed about his apartment, the one he'd just moved out of. Empty rooms, boxes stacked in corners, the landlord's voice echoing through the hallway, normal moving anxiety dreams. When he woke, Dr. Kovacs reviewed the data. "How do you feel?" Marcus shrugged. "Fine. A little tired. That's normal. Your REM cycles were longer than average. Interesting." She made a note on her clipboard, then paused, stared at the EEG printout. "That's unusual." "What?" Kovacs shook her head quickly. "Nothing. Just a small artifact in the signal. Probably a loose electrode." But Marcus saw her expression. She wasn't looking at the electrode placement. She was looking at the brainwave pattern. And for just a second, her face showed something Marcus couldn't quite read. Not confusion, not curiosity, fear. She cleared her throat. "See you tonight." The second night, the dream returned. The same apartment. But this time, Marcus noticed details he hadn't before. A crack in the ceiling shaped like a tree branch. A water stain on the wall near the window. A door he didn't remember being there. It was in the hallway, between the bathroom and bedroom. Plain white door, no handle, just smooth painted wood. He pressed his palm against it. It swung open. Inside, a small windowless room, concrete walls, a single metal chair, a flickering overhead bulb. Marcus stepped inside. The air felt different, colder, denser. The door closed behind him. He turned and woke up, gasping. Dr. Kovacs was standing beside the bed. "You're okay, just a nightmare." Marcus wiped sweat from his forehead. "How long was I out?" 6 hours. Your REM activity spiked dramatically around hour 4. We recorded some unusual patterns." She showed him a printout. The brainwave graph looked wrong, too regular, too uniform, like a machine, not a brain. "What does that mean?" Dr. Kovacs tilted her head. "We're not sure yet. It could be a calibration issue with the equipment. We'll adjust for tonight." That night, Marcus couldn't sleep. He kept thinking about the room, the concrete walls, the metal chair, the light. It felt too real, too specific. Not like a dream at all, more like a memory, but of a place he'd never been. He got up to use the bathroom. As he passed Kovacs' monitoring station, he glanced at her desk. A folder lay open. Inside, EEG printouts, but not his. The name at the top read, Kovacs, L., Personal Monitoring, 2009-2016. Marcus stopped. The brainwave patterns looked identical to his own. Dual state activity, REM during consciousness, the same impossible readings. Kovac had been experiencing this for 7 years. On the third night, Marcus dreamed about the room again. He was sitting in the metal chair. The light flickered overhead, and on the wall, scratched into the concrete, was a word: Kovac. Marcus woke up immediately. Dr. Kovac was at the monitoring station reviewing data. Marcus sat up. "Why is your name in my dream?" She turned, confused. "What?" "In the room. Your name was scratched into the wall." Dr. Kovac's expression shifted. Not confusion anymore. Recognition. "Describe the room." Marcus did. Concrete walls, metal chair, flickering light. Dr. Kovac was silent for a long moment. Her hand trembled slightly as she set down her clipboard. "I need to show you something, but first, I need to tell you something." Marcus waited. "In 2009, I wasn't the lead researcher. I was an assistant. Dr. Raymond Chen ran the study. I was just monitoring the equipment." She paused. "Daniel Marks was my responsibility. I was supposed to wake him if anything went wrong." Her voice dropped. "On night 6, I fell asleep at the monitoring station. Just for a moment. When I woke up, Daniel's EEG showed the same pattern yours is showing now." She looked directly at Marcus. "And that night I dreamed about the concrete room. For the first time." Marcus felt his stomach tighten. "You've been there?" Kovac nodded slowly. "Every night since 2009. I see the room. I see the chair. And sometimes," she hesitated, "I see Daniel, still sitting there, still waiting." She stood. "Come with me." She led him down a hallway, past the main lab, through a door marked Archive. Kovac stopped at the top of the stairwell. "Marcus, once we go down there, you'll understand why I've never told anyone about this." She looked back at him. "You can still leave. Right now. We'll terminate the study. You'll get your money. And you'll never have to think about any of this again." Marcus hesitated. "But you won't be able to help me." Kovac's expression darkened. "I don't know if anyone can help you, but you deserve to know what's happening." She descended. Marcus followed. The stairwell was narrow, cold. The temperature dropped with each step. At the bottom, a storage room, old equipment, filing cabinets, dusty boxes, and in the corner, a metal door. Kovac stood in front of it for a long moment, not moving. "I haven't opened this door in 7 years." Her hand shook as she reached for the handle. "I told myself I'd never come back here." She turned the handle. The door opened. Inside, concrete walls, a metal chair, a flickering overhead bulb, the exact room from Marcus's dream. Marcus's stomach dropped. "What is this?" Dr. Kovac's voice was quiet. "This was the original sleep lab. We stopped using it in 2009. It's been sealed since then." Marcus stepped inside. On the wall, scratched into the concrete, the word Kovac. Dr. Kovac stared at it. "I didn't write that." Marcus turned to her. "Then who did?" Dr. Kovac checked the archive records. The last subject to use the old lab was a man named Daniel Marks. Same study, same protocol. On his 7th night, Daniel reported vivid dreams about being watched. On the 8th morning, Daniel was gone. The lab was locked from the inside. No sign of forced exit. Security footage showed him falling asleep, but never waking up. The video simply showed him lying in bed, eyes closed, breathing slowing. And then, at 6:47 a.m., his body was no longer there. Not fading, not disappearing. One frame, he was there. The next frame, he wasn't. Marcus felt cold run through him. "What happened to him?" Dr. Kovac shook her head. "We don't know. The study was shut down. This facility was built to replace it." She paused. "But Marcus, you're only on night 3. That night, Marcus refused to sleep. But around 2 a.m., exhaustion won. As his eyes closed, he felt something strange, a sensation of falling, but not downward, sideways, as if reality itself was tilting. He tried to open his eyes, but couldn't tell if they were already open. The lab ceiling flickered. For just a second, he saw concrete instead of white tiles. Then it was gone. He closed his eyes. And when he opened them, he was in the concrete room again. But this time, he wasn't alone. Someone was sitting in the chair, facing away from him. Marcus stepped closer. "Hello?" The figure didn't move. Marcus reached out, and the figure turned. It was him, Marcus, but wrong, older, maybe 10 years, gaunt, hollow-cheeked, his skin pale, almost translucent, and his eyes, they moved constantly, twitching, rapid eye movement, even while awake, like he was dreaming with his eyes open. The other Marcus whispered, "You're still early." Marcus stumbled backward. "What does that mean?" The other Marcus stood and pointed to the corner of the room, where a calendar hung on the wall. The date read, October 14th, 2023. 7 years in the future. Marcus woke up screaming. Dr. Kovac ran tests immediately. "Your brainwaves are showing dual-state activity. You're experiencing REM sleep while fully conscious." Marcus grabbed her arm. "What does that mean?" "It means part of your brain thinks you're still dreaming, even when you're awake." Marcus looked around the lab. Everything felt thin, translucent, like he could see through the walls if he focused hard enough. He could see the wiring behind the plaster, the pipes beneath the floor, layers of reality peeling back. "How do I stop it?" Dr. Kovac hesitated. "We're not sure you can." She pulled up Daniel Marks's file on her computer. He reported the same thing. On night 4, said the walls looked see-through. Said he could hear voices from other rooms even when no one was there. Marcus's hands shook. What happened to him on night 7? Dr. Kovac didn't answer. That night, night 6, Marcus tried to stay awake again, but sleep pulled at him like gravity. When he closed his eyes, he was in the concrete room. But this time, the walls were different. Covered in names, hundreds of them, scratched into the concrete at different depths. Some barely visible, worn smooth by time. Some fresh, edges still sharp. Some written horizontally, some vertically, and some upside down, as if carved by someone who didn't know which way was up anymore. Different decades, different hands, all trapped in the same room. Daniel Marks, Kovac, and at the bottom, carved in fresh ragged letters, Marcus Webb. He turned and saw them, all of them, standing in the shadows, the previous subjects. Daniel Marks at the front, thin, pale, unmoving. Daniel spoke. "You're not waking up anymore, Marcus. You're just visiting different versions of sleep." On the morning of day 7, Dr. Kovac entered the lab. Marcus was lying in bed, eyes open, breathing, but unresponsive. She checked the monitors. Brain activity was off the charts. REM state. But his eyes were open. She leaned over him. "Marcus?" His eyes shifted, looked directly at her, and he whispered, "I woke up somewhere else." His body remained, breathing, heart beating. But Marcus, the part of him that was conscious, was gone. Dr. Kovac called for medical assistance. They moved Marcus to a hospital, vegetative state, no response to stimuli. But the EEG showed constant REM activity. He was dreaming, always, and he would never wake up. In 2016, the Portland Sleep Research Institute was shut down. Dr. Kovac's research was seized. Marcus Webb remains in a care facility, still breathing, still dreaming. His eyes move beneath closed lids, rapid, constant. And sometimes, late at night, the nurses report hearing him whisper, always the same thing. "I'm still in the room. Some studies monitor your dreams, some change them, and some trap you inside them forever.